Guys, so today I'm doing kind of a requested video. It's been requested for me to redo a review on this brand, but I'm still kind of in the process of deciding if I want to jump in and do a full kind of retry out of this whole, not brand, this line of dyes. But this one has been requested. This is probably the second most highest requested video on dyes besides the Good Dye Young and the Joico dyes. Now, before I get into that, the reason why I haven't done those two is I'm waiting to try Good Dye Young until after the wedding because I don't want something to happen like it stained my hair and I'm stuck with it or whatnot. And that actually happened last year when I tried the Locked In for my best friend's wedding. Like, the green just would not leave my hair. Well, it left my, it was like pastel-y green, and it would just not leave my hair, so that was not cute. And I don't want that to happen. And for the Joico ones, the dye that I actually want from them is out of stock on Amazon. So if you guys know, I kind of like having the dye either in my hair or used in my hair close to when I review it, so I can show you guys pictures and whatnot. But the dye that I'm reviewing today, I do technically have in my hair, and I have used it within the last few months. And that is the Ion Color Brilliance Brights in Titanium. Now, before I dive into this review, because my first time reviewing Ion Brights was 3 years ago when the brand first introduced a Brights, and I was not really happy with that. And my video kind of, I guess, stirred up some drama and whatnot. And since that video, or around that video, I've had to put disclaimers in my videos saying that I am in no way, shape, or form a professional. So that is one of those warnings. I am not a professional. I've been dyeing my own hair since I was 13, 14 years old. I am 28, going to be 29 now. Yeah, I know, that's another comment I get. You're 28, going to be 29. Yes. I'm 28, going to be 29 now. So I've been dyeing my own hair for quite some time. I know my own hair. I know how my own hair works. Everyone's hair is different. It is, yes, how my hair works to a dye may not be how your hair reacts to a dye. But still, I haven't gone to cosmetology school. I really do want to, but I'm in no way, shape, or form a professional, because most of the comments I get in my videos are rude professionals dropping pro tips or just being really, really rude to people who aren't a professional. And I ain't all about that. Normally I get really sassy and like call people out on it, but to be completely serious, I'm not about that. So if you have some rude comment or saying, oh, blah, 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 you're not, then just click out of this video and go. Because I'm not about to deal with that. Every single hair dye video that I've done, I have had people comment down below saying, well, I'm a pro and I do this. I've actually had pros argue with other pros about what is right and what is wrong. So I don't know what that says when two licensed people are arguing on what's right and what's wrong and how you do things. Even professionals get taught differently in different schools. I know that because I know a couple of people who have told me that. Like I said, I don't go to schools. I haven't gone to cosmetology school, so I don't know. So that being said, I'm in no way, shape, or form a professional. If you're going to need snotty comments because you are a professional and you want to be rude about it, your comment is probably going to get deleted, or yeah, just leave this video. But for those of you who want to know all about this dye, then just keep on watching. And also, if you're going to make snooty comments to other people down below who aren't a professional, then you're going to get deleted too, because I'm not about people arguing down in the comments about what dilutes the dye or just how someone does something. Like, no, if you're going to correct somebody, be nice about it or help them out. Don't be freaking rude. Not about that. So now that that's out of the way, let's get to reviewing the dye, because I love reviewing these dyes for you guys. It's literally one of my favorite things. I get so many comments being like, I liked your honesty and how like true you were to it. So that's why I keep doing this. That's why I keep trying out stuff for you guys. But this, even though it was requested, I am gladly doing a review for. So the Ion Color Brilliance Brights is not my favorite line. I know a lot of people have told me it was constructed, and it does work differently. So like I said, I'm debating on giving it another chance. But one dye out of that range that I have loved since the beginning is Ion's Titanium. Now this is This is one of those, like, just you see was what you get kind of dyes. It's one of those, like, you don't need developer for it, is what I'm trying to say. That's another thing. Everyone in that video was saying you need a developer for these. You do not need developer for these at all. These are just an as-is kind of direct kind of dye, and it comes in this box. And I believe it's like $4.99 for 2.5 fluid ounces, so you do get quite a bit for the price. And this was one of the first times that I did see a silver dye not professional. I know that Manic Panic makes like a lavenderish kind of color, but this was the first time that I seen it that was not professional, like back like 2-3 years ago. And what I really like about this dye is its performance and the way that it works. Now, before diving into more talking about it, I'm letting you guys know every silver dye that I have used, and I have used quite a bit. I've used Pravana, I've used Joico, I've used this one, I've used, what's the other one? Comes in a little tub. Directions, I believe. Someone sent me a Directions one. I've used that. I've used quite a bit of direct silver dyes. And no matter what brand you use, it's not going to last as long as, say, like a violet or a blue. Because silver is a lighter color to begin with. It's actually sold in the pastel line, I believe, of this brand. So because it is a lighter color, it is going to fade light. Fade faster, rather. And what I like about that is I like to use this to dilute my color as well as using it just as is. So right now I have it in my hair, and it's in my hair with pink. So I took Pravana Magenta and I mixed it in with this. I actually had a video where I mixed it in with Pravana, and then after the first time around I mixed it with this, and then I mixed it with this again. So what it is just Pravana Magenta mixed with silver instead of mixing it with conditioner, and it gives this like I don't want to say duochrome look to it, but when it fades, you guys know when sometimes silver fades, it fades to like a peachy orangey color. It prevents that from happening and kind of makes it this like smoky pink color, smoky, even sometimes purple color depending on the light. That's one way that I really like to use this dye. It works really well for that. And I feel like it doesn't fade as quickly as if when you use it with conditioner. It actually lasts longer, so that's really nice. Using this dye on its own is pretty good. I have a picture right here. When I had silver hair last year, that is what I used for it. I had like 5 containers of it. So I used like that one time, and then I used the Joico one, and I used the Pravana one. Basically, I had like a back stock of silver dye because silver dye is really awesome, like I said, just to have to mix stuff or use on its own. Or even to tone your hair when it's brassy. It's really good for that. But it looks really gorgeous on its own. And what I like this better than Pravana is it has a metallic sheen to it. And I'll insert a picture like here of it. It has like of it in the tub. It has a metallic sheen to it. So it kind of gives your hair that like metallic-y kind of look to it. It doesn't look flat. And I really like that. So that's another reason why I really like this dye. And based upon like the spectrum of different silver dyes, this probably falls in like the middle of longevity. Like Joico lasts okay, Pravana lasts like a long time, not long, but longer than most. This kind of falls really close to Pravana because it lasts, I want to say, about 3 weeks, give or take, on my hair. Pravana usually lasts about a month with silver. And that's like, it's gonna fade and you're gonna see it fade, but it lasts like a true, like probably like almost 4 weeks. But the ion one lasts probably about 3, close to 4 weeks, depending on how often you wash your hair. My hair is fading a lot quicker now because it's summertime and there's like pools, and I shower, or I don't shower, I wash my hair more often because you get really sweaty and you can't really, no amount of dry shampoo is going to take that away. That being said, the only real cons I have with this dye is the consistency. I honestly feel like I need so much dye to cover my head with this. With Pravana, I only need a half a tube. With Joico, depending on the length of my hair, 3/4 to a half a tube. To get my hair like this with pink, like I mixed it with pink, I needed a full tube of this and like a quarter of a tube of the Pravana dye. And if I wanted to do my whole head silver, I would probably need 1.5 of these. It's a very thick consistency, and I know most of you are going to say mix it with conditioner, but if you want it at its true potentness and you want it to last as long as you can, you don't want to mix it with conditioner. You're going to need a lot of dye. But it is ridiculously cheaper than Pravana. This is $4.99 for a tube, and Pravana, depending on where you get it, can be anywhere from $9.99 to $12.99. When silver was out of stock last year, which I was freaking out, which is why I was like, for Pravana, it went for like $18.99. So $4.99 for this is awesome, and I have a back stock of it because I got a back stock when it was being discontinued. My store had like 5 on clearance, and I bought it, and it just stood inside of my cabinet because I'm crazy. So yeah, this is actually the newer package right here. Okay, so basically we have longevity and consistency. Application, the same thing with going with consistency. You need a lot. I feel like I'm really goopy when I put it on my hair, but it does its job. It does really well. I have a crazy amount of root, if you guys can see. Ready? Look at that root. Oh my gosh. Because I am growing out my hair just so I can get it as healthy as possible before I dye it, well, the time before the wedding. But yeah. So basically, between consistency, longevity, and application, I want to say that this is right behind Pravana's silver and a little bit ahead of the Joico silver, just because of the longevity factor. I like that it's metallic, so that bumps it up ahead of Pravana, but just consistency-wise and application-wise, I do prefer the Pravana one just because it's easier. This one is super thick and super goopy, and I really kind of wish that it was a little bit different. First time around, it was really dry, though. Like, the first time around, it was just like, it was not pretty, but it did its job. It has a real clean, kind of fresh smell to it, which is very nice. It doesn't smell like strong or anything like that. And I will insert some pictures here about other times that I've mixed this dye with other colors. So I have it like with like some pinks and some purples, and it is a really fun dye just to kind of dilute your dye with. So yeah. Alrighty. I don't really know what else more I can say, considering I discussed price point, consistency, longevity, and application. That's usually kind of the points that I want to hit. I can't really praise this one more of a lot. I know I've got questions of an affordable silver dye, and this one really is it. It definitely is the shining product out of the Ion Color Brights for me because it is different. A lot of lines don't have a silver dye, and because of how cheap it is, I really, really, really do enjoy it. But I will say it does not go over roots that well. So if you have like, or even like virgin hair, so if you have like a naturally light blonde or dark blonde color and you want like a dark smoky like silverish kind of color, you're gonna have to lighten your hair because it's not gonna go over virgin or any type of that kind of hair. Like, it won't even touch. Granted, my hair is really dark at the roots, but it won't even touch the roots. I have a friend who has like dark blonde hair, like to light blonde hair depending, and we put it on like a strip of her hair and it just washed right out. It didn't really take that well. I don't know what it is with this one compared to the other Ion Brights. It just lasts longer, and I really, really do enjoy that dye. So instead of trying to make this video super long and rambly, I'm going to end it here. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope this video kind of gave you guys what you wanted on my take of the silver, as well as kind of touching base on how I feel about the Ion Brights in general. I'm debating on just doing a whole other review about it, because I did pick up a pink one, and I did do the blue one before, the blue gems, but I'm deciding if I'm going to do something like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was everything that you guys asked for it to be, and please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to me if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.